Prabhupada was really difficult. And that difficult, he even portrayed, let me say, not in the second meeting. The second was amazing, but then I had three meetings in the beginning of my spiritual life. A difficult one, an overwhelmingly blissful one, and a difficult one which turned into a blissful one. The first meeting which was difficult is I was racing down the street to catch a train to where I needed to go, and I had always avoided to talk with devotees because I was afraid of their otherworldliness. So, but this time I was so much in a hurry, I didn't see that they were chanting on the street, and I ran right into one of them, and he sold me a magazine. And the devotee, and I read an article in this magazine of Srila Prabhupada, and I could not understand one word of it. And I was really a reader. By that time I had finished, I had bought 24 books of Sigmund Freud, and I had gone through half of it, and I thought, it is possible for me to read anything and understand, because if you go through Sigmund Freud and can stay alive, then you have mastered the difficulties of literature. So, but I couldn't understand Prabhupada's article. It was the peace formula. What exactly was he saying? And at that time I understood here was information which was not mundane, and because I was so absolutely mundane, I could not understand even a paragraph of it. So I was defeated by Prabhupada. I wanted to find out who's the author, and the chance came. I went with a ship to London. Prabhupada did not come at the time, and I needed to go back because the summer holidays were stopping, but I decided I'm not going back to school, I'm not going anywhere. I will wait here and find the author of this, the peace formula, which I couldn't understand. It had touched something. It had resonated deeper than my mind with me, but my mind was rebellious. Then I did meet Srila Prabhupada in the Heathrow airport, I still remember, and I have often described to you. It was when these doors opened, the sliding doors, and Prabhupada walked in my vision, that I was, let me say, saw this overwhelming impression of light in my life. It was overwhelming because it was not possible. I'd never seen such a thing. I had heard about this in mystical literature, that the first experience of someone who's who wakens up to a spiritual realization is that realization is coming in an overwhelming light. And it came to me. It was so bright and there was so much light that I only knew one thing: this is dangerous. I was overwhelmed, but my mind was still thinking, dangerous, dangerous. I threw myself down on the ground, mostly to escape that light. But when I was on the ground, I was overwhelmed. I knew this is the experience which we hear in the Bible, that Moses saw the burning sun at the thorn bush. It is the divine light. And this is the life which is meant for you, to follow this personality. And I did. I waited, and then I waited for Prabhupada, who was the bearer of the light. Setzt euch ruhig, gleich zeige ich es euch in Ruhe. I waited for him to pass. So when I thought, now the dangerous light has passed, I came up of my obeisances and looked right into Prabhupada's smiling face. And his eyes said, or expressed, welcome back. It was overwhelming. And I could understand, welcome back, that means there was a relationship before. Welcome back into the relationship. And I decided then and there, when our eyes would meet, yes, I will follow Srila Prabhupada. But then when a few days later, the mental doubts and rebellion was very rebellious soul settled in, and I thought, before I give my life to this divine personality, I have to at least test him. And so it came after a lecture. I asked him a provocative question where I thought he would not be able to answer it, because I had put it up that if he would say A, it would not look good. If he would say B, it also wouldn't look good. So I was really not willing to follow what I already knew. I will surrender here. And Prabhupada answered the question so good. Now I will not be able to go into the detail. So good is not the way. Prabhupada escaped my trap, which I had set up, and he gave an answer which went right to my heart. Right to my heart, really through all the rebellion, through all the ignorance, and I understood, wow, I've met my eternal master. My material life is over if I follow him. And that was my third meeting. So, first meeting, I could not understand, it was difficult. Second meeting in the airport, overwhelmingly blissful. I have refrained from telling you, but it was so blissful. I cried for a long time on the ground. But I avoid telling this part of the story, because I still get emotional when I just only remember lying there and seeing all this. Oh. I saw it one time more, what was coming through Prabhupada. One time more in a person when I had finished massaging him, then at that time, again this light was, he displayed this, or he let me see the spiritual energy of which he is a resident. I think my spiritual master is a resident of the spiritual world, and he carries this. And that's a very nice Srisha that you, how you said it is a very important meeting for me, very important, life-changing, truly life-altering meeting. Thank you for displaying this. I will think very carefully about this unusual trip until I figured out the secret or one possible secret behind it. Good. Thank you.
So this beautiful cake, for those of you who cannot really see from where you are sitting, will be able to see it in the tent at the time of the prasadam distribution.